Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game. So, I got a super fun and exciting video for you guys today because I'm playing the recently released Paper Mario Star Nova by NicTube. This thing came out about 18 hours ago, and a few members of my Discord had mentioned that it was coming soon, so I definitely paid attention to when the launch happened. If you're wondering what Paper Mario Star Nova is a complete conversion of the original Paper Mario on Nintendo 64, bringing in an entirely new world, new story, and an entirely basic new game to the Paper Mario universe. And since it's been a while since Nintendo released a mainline Paper Mario game for everyone to enjoy, stuff like this absolutely keeps this franchise alive. Because I will say, in my time with Star Nova so far, I feel like I'm about 75% through overnight. I absolutely fell in love with this game, and it is one of the best Paper Mario mods out there. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. And just so you know, I'm only going to be showing you the introductory areas of the game into the first level, because I don't want to spoil any of the story beats or any of the fun. This is definitely a very engrossing story, and this entire mod was made by one person and one person only. And I will say, as far as the overall story beats are concerned, where this tale is going to go, I absolutely love the writing. Really feels like it could be something Nintendo did, and it absolutely makes you want to keep playing the game and find out what happens next. And honestly, that is amazing, because even though The Thousand Year Door is my favorite Paper Mario game, I absolutely love the original, and seeing a new story within that world is absolutely straight up fun for me. Now, just so you know, I played this on Rosalie's Moopin GUI because I tried it on Ares, and it does not work there, and it didn't work on Mr. FPJ or Analog 3D either. But the actual patch page is very clear that it probably is doing stuff that isn't going to be original console compatible, but it is absolutely worth playing even if you use emulation, because the story here is so cute. And if this rock buddy is not just Bobby from the most recent Paper Mario game, I don't know who it is. And honestly, to this day, I still feel betrayed by Nintendo when Bobby sacrificed his own life for the adventure. I mean, this dude's name is Solon, obviously a rock, not a bomb, but Big Bobby energy through and through, and still my favorite character in the entirety of the Paper Mario franchise. You leave me a comment down below and you tell me what your favorite Paper Mario game is, because I would be really curious to hear about it. There's so many incredible options to choose from, but like I said, it's been a minute since we've gotten a new game, so we're just going to have to wait to see what Nintendo has planned next on Switch 2. But now that we have Solon in our party, we're going to be able to get new abilities, including the ability to warp to different areas in the actual map using these little star panels here. And if you go into the start menu and take a look at the map, it is lovingly hand-drawn. And again, this game is just oozing charm, oozing flair, and really does feel like a lost Paper Mario game that we just never got back in the day. Imagine if Paper Mario on Nintendo 64 got a sequel a la something like Majora's Mask Ocarina of Time, but just imagine Nintendo canceled it at the last minute and didn't let it out into the world. And those are the vibes that I am getting here, and absolutely this is one 10 out of 10, can't recommend enough you guys play. And the reality is, it's not trying to reinvent the wheel here, or the piece of paper as it were. It is just expanding upon it and creating an entirely new tale in a new world. And this, from start to finish, is just a brand new game. And if you love the Paper Mario formula, if you love Paper Mario 64, you would be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't start playing this one maybe this evening or tomorrow. It really does have a lot of content and a lot of meat on the bone. And again, the story really is the overall best part about this. Yes, the world building and the overall visual vibes are impeccable, but all the characters you're going to meet along the way, their motivations, and how you progress through the story really does feel like this was written by a team of professional game writers and not one ROM hacker in their spare time. And again, I can't stress enough the fact that this was entirely done by one person. That is an epic, monumental love letter to not only the Paper Mario franchise, but the Nintendo 64 as well. And it really is just mind-blowing that one person decided they could make an entirely new Paper Mario game and end up being as successful as this is. I know I'm hyping it up, but trust me, this one was so much fun, and even though I'm not finished, I can't imagine the back like 25% being all that bad compared to the original part. And there's just something about the world here that you're inhabiting, 10 out of 10 visual vibes. It also has a really fun soundtrack, so go ahead and listen, and I'll be right back with a lot more. I mean, Paper Mario, at least the original, always had a very heavy storybook aesthetic, almost like somebody was reading a child a bedtime story, at least visually. And here in Star Nova, with that kind of lullaby music in the background and the overall world this game inhabits, it really does sell that kind of storybook aesthetic even further than I think Paper Mario 64 does. And as we come in here to meet the next character that we've been trying to find, I really do love how this game's progression unfolds. It basically starts you out like any Paper Mario game, you just have your jump, so it's not like this is a quote-unquote continuation of the Paper Mario 64 story where you'd expect to have a lot of abilities moving into it, because this game absolutely stands on its own as a unique entry in the Paper Mario franchise, even if it isn't an official entry in the Paper Mario franchise in the first place. And this is really why retro gaming is making a comeback. There's so many people making so many new ROM hacks that not only change up existing games that people love, but create entirely new games out of them. And I played a decent amount of Paper Mario ROM hacks back in the day, just because I absolutely love this franchise, and it's not like we get games all that often. And even though it's been some years since I played some of my favorites, I will say this instantaneously rose right to the top of the list, and it really is overall just the aesthetic that this game takes place in. Now, of course, it's not always going to be this aesthetic. You're going to be traveling to different areas on the map, looking around and seeing and doing different things, but there's something whimsical about Star Nova that 100% works as far as the graphical aesthetic of the Paper Mario engine, as well as the graphical capabilities of the N64. And again, if you run this in Rosalie's Moopin GUI with some upscaling, it looks even better than if you were on an N64 console, at least for the clarity of the polygons. And with all of the inky blacks here, the purples, along with all of the poppy colors, this thing absolutely excels on an OLED screen if you have a TV that can support it. So if you do, definitely go over to there and play it, because it just looks even better. And even though obviously newer hardware can make Paper Mario games look even prettier on paper, pun very much intended, than the N64, there really is something about the original aesthetic of the Paper Mario universe when Nintendo first concepted it that I still think is one of the best looks for the game. Now that we know that we have to find a cave somewhere, we can move on with the adventure, and it really is structured well. Your progression system, getting new badges, getting new items, and being able to unlock new areas kind of just 100% works as a gameplay flow. You're not going to be unlocking things too quickly, you're not going to be unlocking them too slowly. The progression system here really just keeps you inching forward, and you think to yourself, I've saved, maybe I'll play another 30 minutes, and somehow suddenly 2 hours have gone by. Because that's exactly what I did last night. I was playing around with this. It was maybe like 9:30, 9:45, and I said to myself, I'm going to play for like half an hour more. And before I realized it was like 12:20 in the morning, and my wife texted me from bed asking if I was actually coming to bed that night. And that is the sign of a good game, when suddenly you go into that mental time warp where you think to yourself, I've only been playing for like 45 minutes more, but somehow over 2 hours have gone by and you haven't even noticed it. And it's not every single game that can do that. It's especially not every single ROM hack that can do that. But Star Nova 100% just made me lose hours last night, and I did not regret it in any way. Let's do another soundtrack sample, because again, super unique music coming out of this one. 45 seconds, I'll be right back to show you a little bit more of the game. Now, I personally don't know what type of music you would want to play in a cave, but this definitely reads to me like cave music. And that is just because in my personal life, I've never set foot in a cave, nor have I ever been interested in doing it. Because one, people get stuck in them all the time, and two, I've seen enough horror movies to know that basically nothing good ever happens when you go into caves. It's one of those things in life, not interested for me, but in a Paper Mario game, obviously the stakes are much lower. And as we're in this cave, again, the entirety of the parts of this just add up to an even greater sum than you would expect. From the visual design to the storytelling to the overall personality to the music to everything else, including some of the new visual effects, it really does feel like a brand new Paper Mario game just released in a retro aesthetic. And that is something that if Nintendo did, it would absolutely sell millions of copies and get acclaim. Now, I totally understand ROM hacks are not official games, but a lot of times ROM hacks can give us stuff that Nintendo, the developer, might not even do. The only little bit of I wish it would slightly be easier in this entire game is some of the platforming can be slightly hard to read, just because these things actually do have that star-shaped hitbox, so you have to wait until one of the star points is actually closer till you jump. I mean, there really isn't any sort of punishment for falling down. You get to try it all over again, but honestly, that was the only thing in the entirety of Star Nova where I thought to myself, maybe the developer could just tighten that up a bit. Now, again, this has only been out for about 18 hours as of the recording of this video, so there could be some bugs in there I just missed, and the developer is taking bug reports on their Discord. And if you do want to try this one out, I left a link in the description below to the patch. You'll have to bring your totally legally owned copy of Paper Mario 64 to the party, but otherwise you will be good to go. And again, I totally understand. I'm just showing you the beginning areas of this game because the story has a lot of twists and turns, a lot of Easter eggs, and a lot of fun writing that I want you to discover for the first time and not in a video like this. My entire job is to try to convince you to play this one, and then you get to discover and find out what it's all about. So take it from me, Paper Mario Star Nova, straight up 10 out of 10. Charming, unique, has a ton of visual flair, and really feels like Nintendo released a brand new Paper Mario game and you just didn't hear about it. If you have played this one so far, leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think. But short of that, I'm done. I'm going to go finish Star Nova, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.